Hello guys, Super Anthony Characters here. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'm just gonna be doing a rant on this neighborhood in Wilmington, Delaware. Alright, I'm gonna be doing a rant on this neighborhood in Wilmington, Delaware. Alright, so this is called the 9th Ward / North Brandywine area in Wilmington, Delaware, and to be honest, I would not prefer to live here in this neighborhood. And yeah, the 9th Ward area and the North Brandywine neighborhood of Wilmington, Delaware, yeah, I wouldn't prefer to live in I would not prefer to live in that neighborhood in the future. And yeah, that's my rant. Yeah, so yeah, I just did a rant on this neighborhood. Yeah, I just did a rant on this neighborhood in Wilmington, Delaware, and this is how I rant. So, to be honest, I would not prefer to live in the 9th Ward area or the North Brandywine neighborhood of Wilmington, Delaware, and in the future. But I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to live in the suburbs. But I remember that if I do what I want to do instead of doing what I need to, then when I grow up, I might not be able to live where I want to live, and I might only be able to live where I could afford to live. And I might only be able to afford to live within the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware, and like Brandywine Village, the 9th Ward area of Wilmington, Delaware, or the North Brandywine neighborhood of Wilmington, Delaware, or Baynard Village, or Cool Spring, or Tilton Park. Yeah, I might only be able to live in those neighborhoods when I grow up. But that's only if I do what I want instead of doing what I need to do. Because most people who do what they want instead of doing what they need to do don't get what they want. And they probably grow up to be irresponsible. But if I do what I want instead of doing what I need to, then I could be irresponsible, or I might not be able to get what I want. And when I grow up, I might not be able to live where I want to live, and I might only be able to live where I could afford to live. Like Brandywine Village, the North Brandywine neighborhood of Wilmington, Delaware, or the 9th Ward area of Wilmington, Delaware, Baynard Village, Cool Spring, Tilton Park. Yeah, those neighborhoods. I might only be able to afford to live in those neighborhoods. But I don't think I'm going to be living in those neighborhoods, because when I grow up, I think I'm going to be very successful. And I think that I'm going to be too successful to live in the city. I think I'm going to be too successful to live within the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware. So I'm going to try my best to focus on doing what I need to, and not what not what I want. That way I'll be very successful, and I'll be able to get most of the things I want, and I'm going to be very responsible. And I'll be able to live where I want to live, which is the suburbs in Delaware, and Delaware's suburbs in Newcastle County. Yeah, but I'm probably not going to be living within the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware in the future. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not going to be living within the city. I'm not going to be living within the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware in the future. I'm going to be living in the suburbs. But yeah, guys, I just did a rant on this neighborhood in Wilmington, Delaware. I just did a rant on the 9th Ward area and the North Brandywine neighborhood in Wilmington, Delaware. And I would not prefer to live in this neighborhood in Wilmington, Delaware in the future. Yeah, I would not prefer to live in the 9th Ward area or the North Brandywine neighborhood of Wilmington, Delaware in the future. Yeah, guys, I would not prefer to live in the 9th Ward area or the North Brandywine neighborhood of Wilmington, Delaware in the future. Yeah, but I don't think I'm going to, because I think I'm going to be very successful, and I'm going to be able to live in the suburbs. Yeah, guys, I just did a rant on the 9th Ward area in the North Brandywine neighborhood of Wilmington, Delaware, and I would not prefer to live in that neighborhood in the future. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this rant video. All right, guys. See you in the next video. All right. Yeah, I just did a rant on the Ninth Ward area in the North Brandywine neighborhood of Wilmington, Delaware, and I would not prefer to live in that neighborhood in the future. All right, guys. See you in the next video. All right. Goodbye.